Hello and welcome back to our countdown to Christmas. It's the 9th of December and we're continuing on with our Necron versus Space Marines comparison video. So it's simply what would you pick, and you're either Team Necrons or Team Space Marines. Now currently the scores are tied at 4 apiece. Believe me, this wasn't actually planned to be so tight, but it is 4 apiece. The one thing that was planned for these videos, they were supposed to be much shorter, but there's so much information to pack into these videos that we've got to keep going. So I will try to shorten the future videos. So let's get on with today's comparison, which is the Ophydian Destroyers versus the Assault Squad. So two fast attack options, similar due to the fact that they can both do the deep strike ability, one of them with the tunneling horrors ability and the other one with the death from above ability, but it's virtually the same thing with the deep strike ability. So as for the points breakdown, it's 105 points for 3 Ophydian Destroyers, whereas it will be 100 points for 5 Assault Squad models with the jump packs included. So let's start with comparing the stat line for these two models. Now as you can see, it does say 6 inches for the Assault Squad for their movement, but that will go up to 12 inches with the jump packs. All the other stats are very similar. The Ophydian Destroyers have an additional wound and 2 extra attacks per model, although you do have to remember that there are only 3 models within this 105 point unit, whereas there are 5 models in the Assault Squad, and they've of course got abilities and chainsaws and whatnot, which we'll go over later in this video. Then the final part is the save of a 3+ for the Assault Squad members. Now I just thought I'd put this in at this section here, which is the Sergeant can take a combat shield. He'll get a 5+ invulnerable save, but he'll also add +1 to his armor saving throw, so he'll be having a 2+ armor save if you wanted to tank some shots. So I thought I'd put that here as we're talking about stats. Now going back to those wounds, because there's 3 Ophydian Destroyers, that's going to total 9 wounds, whereas there's 5 models within the Assault Squad and that's going to total 10 wounds. So they're actually going to have an additional wound overall. So for me, the Assault Squad just takes this one purely based on the amount of wounds they get and of course their armor save. Now as for the abilities, that Assault Squad's got the Angels of Death ability and combat squads. Nothing else really of note. You could include the Fly from the jump pack, which is an ability within itself, and the Ophydian Destroyers have got Living Metal, Command Protocols, Reanimation Protocols, but the main abilities here are Hardwired for Destruction to reroll hit rolls of a 1. The model that has the Reap Blades can score an additional hit on a hit roll of a 6. It's going to be a -1 to hit them in melee with their Whipcore bodies, and of course Tunneling Horrors as mentioned for their Deep Strike ability. Now all in all, I think the Ophydian Destroyers have got much better abilities when compared to an Assault Squad. As for the damage output, for a quick breakdown, the Reap Blades are going to have 3 attacks for a 3-man unit, which are strength 6, -4 AP and 3 damage. Then the other 2 that have got the Threshers are going to have 8 attacks in total at strength 4, -2 AP and 2 damage. And then all 3 models have got the Claws, which is going to be 6 attacks at strength 4, -1 AP and 1 damage. So lots of damage, lots of AP, and just lots of attacks in general. Then when you go on to the Assault Squad, they're going to have a total of 16 attacks in melee. That's all going to be at strength 4, -1 AP, 1 damage. That's because of the chainswords, so they're going to get an additional attack for the chainswords, an additional attack for shock assault, and then 1 extra for the sergeant within the group. And this of course will go up to -2 AP in the assault doctrine. So the Ophydian Destroyers had 17 attacks in melee, although they were at better strength and damage, and the Assault Squad has only 16 at strength 4, but then you've got to remember they've got pistols as well, so it's going to be 5 attacks at 12-inch range, strength 4, no AP, 1 damage, and -1 AP in the assault doctrine. Then furthermore, the Assault Squad can take options, so they've got the Flamers as options, 2 of them can have Flamers, or 2 of them could take the Plasma Pistols if you want, and then also you can further boost their melee attacks, with 1 model being able to take the Eviscerator, which will be strength 7, -4 AP and 2 damage. So when you take all the hits into consideration with their basic weapons, on average you're going to get 13.3 hits with the Ophydian Destroyers. That's after re-rolling hit rolls of a 1, whereas the Assault Squad are going to get about 14 hits on average overall. So you're going to get slightly more hits, but the problem though is the strength isn't as high and nor is the damage. So for that reason alone, I'm giving this one to the Ophydian Destroyers. Now as for the synergy, they're both infantry, they've both got the core keyword, so that core keyword in particular is going to synergize with some characters, for example the Command Barge, being able to give the I Will Be Done ability, and very similarly a Space Marine Captain or a Space Marine Chaplain, both with jump packs, are going to synergize quite well with the Assault Squad. Now the Ophydian Destroyers have got the Destroyer Cult keyword on top of this, so they're going to also synergize with the Scorpec Lord and possibly the Locust Lord if you wanted to take him, and they're going to allow Destroyer Cult units within 6 inches to reroll wound rolls of a 1, so they'll be rerolling hit rolls of a 1 and rerolling wound rolls of a 1. Now the only other faction keyword that the Assault Squad has is the Melter Bombs, so that interacts with a stratagem, so they can target a vehicle with a single attack, and if the hit is scored, the vehicle will suffer 2d3 mortal wounds, then the attack sequence will end. Now as for dynasty selections, the Novak dynasty is the obvious one here, getting a +1 to the charge roll, which is going to be very handy if you're coming in from deep strike, so it will be an 8-inch charge, and it's also going to be a -1 AP in the first round of combat. Now as for some chapters for the assault squad, all the melee kind of chapters, so you're talking about the Blood Angels, so they're going to get that +1 to charge, +1 to advance, +1 to wound. Black Templars are also pretty good, especially with their new supplement, lots of melee shenanigans. You can even put an invuln save on them if you wanted to, with a 5+ invulnerable save. And Space Wolves, it's worth a mention here because they've got something very similar, which is their Sky Claws, but with their chapter tactic they of course hit on 2s in the first round of combat. Stratagem wise, you've got the Burrowing Nightmares for the Ophydian Destroyers. You can effectively put them back into reinforcements and then bring them out in the next movement phase. So if they're caught out of position, you could be using that. And they can also take the Disruption Field Stratagem for a command point to +1 to all the strength of models within the unit. Now the final thing to mention here with the Ophydian Destroyers in particular is that the fast attack slots are highly competitive within the codex. Most people fill the fast attack option with either Canoptic Wraiths and definitely Canoptic Scarabs, so getting the Ophydian Destroyers into a list is pretty tricky. And that's going to be one of the main reasons why I'm going to be selecting the Assault Squad for this point. Onto the Resiliency, we've already mentioned the amount of wounds, 9 wounds for the squad of Ophydian Destroyers and 10 wounds for the Assault Squad. However, with those Whipcore bodies, which is a -1 to hit in melee, that's going to definitely even things out, so I'm going to give the point to both of these units on this occasion. Now we're at a tied score, so I'm going on to a bonus round, which is the threat. Which one of these units am I afraid of the most? And for me, it's got to be those Ophydian Destroyers with those high damage weapons, damage 3, damage 2. There's going to be lots of attacks, decent strength, loads of AP and a lot of damage there. So for me, they're going to be the biggest threat. I'm not going to be so afraid of an assault squad if I'm honest. So when I'm counting up the points here, I've scored this 4 points to 3 in favour of the Ophydian Destroyers. So they're going to win this mini battle today. That's going to put Team Necrons on 5 points and Space Marines will be on 4 points. So guys, that's the end of the video today. Let me know how you would have scored this below with those exact topics that we've used today. Remember to smash a like and subscribe if you're new. Thank you all for watching and I'll see you tomorrow.